Welcome back to the Hero Whispers. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in today. This is our happy place. We have a lot of crazy things going on right now, but we are in our own power here at Supergirls and my heroes that I love to bring onto the show. In case you're new, the Hero Whispers is a curated group of amazing women that can hopefully inspire and empower our listeners, our college girls who Supergirls, we're in business to inspire and empower them to help them be better, stronger, and faster in the real world after they graduate. And so on our podcast, we like to speak to them and hear their stories. And then we also like to hear from other queens that have been really killing it out there that can really help us and get us pumped up and inspired, especially in times like this. So it makes me super pleased to have the Honorable Miss Jennifer Chavez here today on the podcast. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you so much for having me.
She is the owner and founder of Babes in Business New Jersey. It is as cool as it sounds. Just a little bit about her. Well, actually, this is taken from her website. It was super cool, so we use this as her intro. My goal in building this community is so we always have a place to come together to learn, support, and build our network of boss babes. I know what it's like to crave a group that really gets you, to find somewhere that you fit in. I remember looking for just that when I started networking for my company, Helpful Rabbit. I was going alone to events and none of them seemed to fit. That's when I got the idea for Babes in Business. This is the place where everyone is welcome. You don't even need to have a company to join. Just come and be inspired by the speakers. Who knows what great ideas you will wake up with in the morning. I can't wait to meet you, XOXO Jennifer. And now we're meeting her in the flesh, live from Asbury Park, New Jersey. Thank you so much for being with us today. It is such an honor to have you and to hear about this amazing empire that you created. Congratulations. It's so epic.
Thank you.
It really aligns with the mission that I have with Supergirls, and that what we're trying to do to create a community for our college juniors and seniors as they get ready to fly out into the real world. So I think it would be really awesome to hear how you got started and what inspired you and all of that and how you made it all happen.
Yeah, I know. And I just want to mention that we spoke earlier before this, and I love your mission. I feel empowered by your mission. And I think it's so important because at that time for me, when I went to college, I felt so lost. So I want to congratulate you on starting this podcast, because I think it's so important for, women at that age to have someone, like you guys to come to listen to, and just to bring this all together. So congratulations to you guys on starting this. I think it's amazing.
Thank you, Jen. See, she walks the walk, and she talks the talk and she walks the walk. How I'm sure this is her amazingness that gets all these people together and all fired up for these events.
But yeah, so you asked me how I got started, and super quick background for me. I was in the restaurant industry. I was a bartender for 13 years. And, while I was doing that, I graduated college, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't have a group like yours to go to get really inspired. And then after I got into the service industry, I was making a lot of money, and I just kind of got stuck. I got stuck because of the money I was making, and I just wasn't inspired by anything until I just kind of inspired myself. I started taking classes. I decided what I wanted to do. For me, I just kind of fell in love with graphic design and web design. And I just slowly started taking classes. And then as I was doing that, I just realized when I started my company, there was nowhere for me to go. There was no tribe. There was no sense of community. I would go all the way to Philly just to go to these tech meetups. And I just wasn't finding that sense of community that I was craving, and I wanted it so bad. And one day I just decided that I was going to have a meetup of my own. I got together with a few of my friends at the time who wanted to help me. I was even going to have it at my house, and someone told me that was weird. So my husband at the time was working at a store. They let us use it. And we thought, I thought maybe 10 people, 15 people would come, and 65 women showed up. It was pouring rain that night. Yeah, it just, right from the beginning, I knew that we had something when that many people showed up. And ever since then, it's just completely taken off. And I really think that it's because of the sense of community and the tribe that people are craving, that they want, and now that we've built this, everyone uses each other's companies. And it's just, we've all grown together at the same time. And it's been amazing to watch. Everyone who started with me from the beginning, we kind of all grew together, and everyone that comes in, they can feel that sense of community and they just want to stay.
It's been 4 years, right? Since you started it?
It will be 4 years this October.
Okay, that is, I mean, it sounds like you probably already had a community when you were attending bar, right? I mean, you like automatically get, you meet tons of people, they come see you. You probably had like a little bit of a following from that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I got it from that, but I will say bartending is definitely a big part of my story. It taught me a lot of, how to interact with people, how to deal with people, and how to build that community.
I mean, I love that because for this audience, they're going out into the world, they're trying to get real jobs, or, whatever real job means. They're trying to get different, life-sustaining employment. And maybe some of the only things they have on their resume are bartending, camp counselor,
right.
Babysitting, dog walking. But when you can turn those things into like real skills, the way you just did, the way you just talked about it, that is powerful. And people don't think, they don't automatically think of that. You have to like build it into your script, if you will.
Yeah, I think I've always been a hard worker. I think I got that from my parents. I've always had like more than one job, and I've worked retail, I've worked bartending. I was even a bail bondsman for a little while because I needed a job at the time, and someone offered it to me and I just did it. And every single job that I've had, I have put into my story, and it has become a part of why I am the person I am today and why I built the community and the companies that I have right now. Like a part of Babes in Business is we donate $1 of every in-person event that we have to the Boys and Girls Club of Asbury Park. So, and that's because I was a bail bondsman in Asbury Park, and I got to see firsthand those families. So every single job I think that you have along your path plays a part in what you're going to end up doing.
That is so cool that you do that. I love that. Shout out for doing the donation to the Boys and Girls Club. We all love the social consciousness. It's amazing. And that you incorporated into your work. And then it was inspired by like a personal thing. So cool. But when you started this, did you have a specific target in mind of people that you wanted to attract, or a business plan? Like, how did you get started with the whole thing to make it, and like, how has that changed from then to now?
You mean like the people that I wanted to come to the meetup?
Yeah, like your target market, or do you kind of think of it that way, or?
I like that you use that word because I use that a lot in my business for social media and websites. But for Babes in Business, I would say my target market is everyone. I always wanted this to be a place where everyone could come, every age, every ethnicity, and every job type, meaning I don't care if you don't have a company, you don't have a business card, and it is just an idea. I want you to come, and I want you to leave feeling empowered. So I've made it for everyone.
Well, that says something right there, the way you talk about it. And you're open, and you're just an open person because you were open when you're in your jobs and like what kind of things you would be willing to do, and now you're open about this, and that just really is very telling about the kind of amazing human that you are. But it's targeted to women, babes. Is that right?
It is, yeah. It's targeted to women. We do let like if men want to come like and buy tickets, we do say like guys are babes too, but I would say that it's 99% women that come to the meetup. But sometimes the husbands come and they want to hear their wives or their girlfriends or their friends speak. So But it is only for women. In the beginning, we had some guys who wanted to have vendor tables. And I thought about it, but I built it for us. It's a place for us. So it's just for the girls.
I love that. I mean, I have the same situation with Supergirls, and people are like,
Right.
well, it's not inclusive. I'm like, listen, it's not that it's not inclusive. It's targeted. Okay. It's a
Right.
niche business. And so that's
Right.
okay because there's businesses that aren't for women.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is. And I think it's very powerful, especially today's day. We need this. Women need this. We need to get up to the same speed. So we need to lean on each other.
Yeah, I'll let them buy a ticket and come to the event and buy products from all the women if they want.
Yeah, we'll take your money. Your money is just as good as the other money on the table. We'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess what I want to understand is how the business has changed over the past few years. Like in the beginning, did you think it was going to be one way, and then you ended up doing something else? Like you pivoted, or has it grown exactly how you thought it was going to grow?
No, I would say definitely. In the very beginning, I was very naive about this. I thought it was going to just be kind of like a nonprofit, and I wasn't gonna charge everything. I was going to donate everything to charity. And then I quickly realized that this was taking up a lot of time. There was a lot of people that wanted to come to this, and I had to pay myself. So that's where I pivoted the first time. And then I would say I've kind of been pivoting throughout, where I realized that I could sell things online as well, meaning I could sell an online membership. And it's kind of changed throughout. We sell merch, and we're pivoting again right now with the situation that's going on right now, where all of our events are now turning virtual. So I would say to anyone who is starting a business and they're not sure what they want to do yet, just start it, just put it online, just start an Instagram. If you have an idea, just begin, because it doesn't matter if you don't have the whole idea yet. I had no idea when I started Babes in Business that I would have a Babes in Business in Hoboken and Long Island, and someone wants to start one in Philly now. And even with everything that's going on right now, someone called me from Staten Island and they want to start one there. So you don't have to have everything perfectly laid out in a master plan. You just need to start.
I didn't know that you had talked about other locations, but it's so cool that you're in Hoboken. I lived in Hoboken for many years. And Philly. So how does that work? Are they franchised, or how are you working that out?
It's similar to that. It's not a franchise. It's a partnership. So they're partners, and they get a percentage of the profits.
Good for you, girl. You go, girl. I am so inspired and stoked up by this idea. It's like spreading like wildfire. It's spreading like the virus. No, I'm only kidding.
I just think that community is so important, and it's like I said, it's just something that everyone wants to feel. So if that's something that you're able to build and help people come together and do, and it's like they're forming this family and they're all helping each other, then that is what's growing like wildfire.
Well, the good news is that you figured out how to monetize it, and that I think it sounds to me like, this is a professor in me speaking, but you've listened to your customers and you kind of follow the curve, which is really important in business, to be able to because they're the ones telling you what to do, and you're kind of going along with that, and that's working for you, right? Because if you don't have a customer, then you don't have a business. So it sounds like you're just it's a natural growth. So cool. So you're all up and down the East Coast. Wow. Yeah. So let me ask you this. So the other business that you have, The Helpful Rabbit, where you're doing design and a website development, is that so you're doing both of those right now, or is that one is the Babes in Business kind of trumping